Hey there. I'm excited to share this conversation with my pal, Tony Wavering from PromoHunt. We talked about their very cool product sourcing and presentation tools and how they help sales teams create standout presentations and save money. For those attending Expo in the coming weeks, Tony shared a great Expo life hack that you might appreciate. It's worth sticking around for. One more thing, if the edits feel a little weird, bear with me. I'm still getting the hang of some new software. Thanks for your patience. Let's get into it. I'm happy to have who I consider a friend in the trenches, Tony Wavering. Hello, Tony.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
So, Tony, you and I have known each other for, I'm going to guess, 7 or 8 years, maybe. I think I first saw the PromoHunt booth on the Expo show floor 2016. Do you remember
Yeah,
when it was?
great memory. Likely it was 2017. So
Thanks.
that's exactly right.
You've been in the industry for much longer than that. Tell us about how you got into the promo scene and what birthed Promo Hunt, the why, the problems you're trying to solve with Promo Hunt.
Yeah, definitely. So I first got started in the industry back in 2005. I was a student at the University of Pennsylvania, and I looked around and saw a lot of other students making really good side hustle money selling screen printed apparel. And I thought, oh, maybe I should get into this too. And so I did that for a few years. After college, though, having studied finance and accounting, I went to go work in New York City on Wall Street doing like M&A consulting. And I did that for about 7 years, but I started to find that really unfulfilling. And so I got an itch to come back into this industry and create an online distributor business called BidPress. I moved to India for like 6 months, worked next to a team of software engineers there who helped me build a really good looking e-commerce platform that made it possible for clients to order online and choose what upgrader they wanted to work with and have goods printed by. And ultimately, I ended up shutting that business down after a few years of operating. But before I did, I landed a really great Fortune 100 account and served them for about 7 years afterwards. And it was really through that experience where I was working for myself, by myself, and not really having like a lot of colleagues to ask questions to that really made me feel like there was a gap in our industry when it came to like really great software that helped make it really easy for distributors to find great items and products. And so that's really why I created PromoHunt. It was with pain that I dealt with firsthand, being sort of like a solopreneur distributor, trying to put really great, safe product ideas in front of clients that we're trying to solve for with PromoHunt. Our first ideas for a product was to build a search engine because I tried to use other search engines out there like Sage and ESP. I remember specifically feeling really great selling decorated apparel, but really uncertain about selling hard goods. So I searched for like insulated tote bags and search engines out there. I remember seeing like 10,000 results. They didn't really seem like sorted to me in an order that de-risks things for me and for my client. And I really didn't want to recommend products to my customer that they might not like. And so it was really product research for me with hard goods specifically that we set out to solve for at PromoHunt. We ended up pivoting shortly after launching our search engine, realizing it would be really difficult to get people to change their habit at that time. And so we started by offering a browser extension that would show helpful information to distributors automatically when they were on supplier websites. And we noticed that often distributors are on a supplier's website, even if they start their search in a search engine. And so it's really in that place where a lot of information you might really like to have at your fingertips is not there. So our browser extension shows really helpful contact details like supplier phone numbers, orders, email addresses. It also shows preferred pricing for about 10 different buyer groups, several national distributors. It shows coupons. So if you're a member of a regional association or not, we can put about 100 coupons in your fingertips automatically when you're on supplier websites. And those are some of like the early gaps that we noticed were existing on supplier websites and wanted to solve for with our browser extension. And so that was our first product. And then we eventually got to presentations later. We sort of went from product search to toolbar and presentations after that.
That browser extension is how I was first introduced to PromoHunt, and it solved a really specific problem for us. At the time, I was involved with Reciprocity Road and trying to manage like what deals and pricing and perks we have with each vendor partner was burdensome. And then trying to get that information out to the various sales teams was also hard. And what that browser extension did for us was it put that information right there so that if we were on HPG's website, all of the information specifically for Reciprocity to Road sales teams was right in front of them, really easy to get to.
Yeah, totally. And I'll share my screen here. This is the browser extension. And once it's installed on a computer, when a page loads, it'll show helpful information at the bottom of the page. We'll always show like that supplier's phone number, or we can show like buying group related information and even additional details like vendor directories when someone clicks here. So we do this for about 10 different buying groups and several national distributors today. And that's been something that people really love because we just automate the displaying the pricing information and vendor levels.
Tell us how PromoHunt evolved from a search tool and then a browser extension into what it is today, which is a number of things, right? It's kind of it's a suite of tools and solutions.
Yeah, totally. So after we worked on our browser extension, then we focused on presentations for about a year. And after working on presentations for about a year, we also started to develop online store solutions. And so we've got several really nice products in the market in that area. And then today, what we're most focused on is sort of that initial problem we set it to solve for, which was how can we make it much easier for distributors to find really great products that they might want to put in the hands of their customers. Today, what we're really focused on is providing tools so that if you're looking at a product on a supplier website, we can put lots of other really similar product ideas at your fingertips if you're interested in seeking them out. We also have some really neat price comparison features so that if you're selling like a commodity apparel product, we can help you automatically compare your prices in the background and let you know if you can save on items that you're looking at different supplier websites. So those are some of the different problems that we're really focused on solving for right now. And I have a feeling that we'll be coming back to product search really soon too. There've been so many great enhancements and technology developments with like ChatGPT, Claude, et cetera. And so we're starting to use tools like that to go much farther into solving for product search and offering like a really good experience there. Historically, that would have been much, much more expensive than it is today, where we can throw, a million products at Claude and have it do a ton of great lifting for us so that we can serve up really relevant results when distributors are searching for products. So it's super exciting time, I think, just in this industry and all industries in general, but including in our industry where really small service provider companies can do some really big things that historically might have been out of budget before, impossible before.
It's been really fun to see how the industry has taken to some of the AI tools that are out there. Obviously, there's like low hanging fruit, rewriting product descriptions, but at the Promo Standards Hackathon, I think 2 years ago now, we saw almost every entry use AI to provide some sort of search or product suggestion feature. Tony, why don't you show us the presentation tool in PromoHunt?
Yeah,
Um, Curious to see how it works and how long it takes to create a presentation, that sort of thing.
yeah, sounds good. Before we set out to create presentations, we wanted to kind of understand how people were sharing product ideas and clients. And what we heard is that sometimes distributors use tools like GSP, Commons View. Sometimes they were preparing like PDFs, PowerPoints, um, both of those two, which take a lot of time and energy to create. But of course, you can create really good looking presentations that way. A lot of times, though, what we were seeing is that distributors were just sharing links to products, the email, or a flavor of that thereof. And so we wanted to make it really easy for distributors to share product ideas with clients. And so we do that with our browser extension. Basically, once you install it, let's say you have a client who wants some rain jacket ideas. What you can do with PromoHunt and our presentations feature is just simply visit a rain jacket product that you might want to share with a client. Let's say your client wants navy rain jacket ideas. So with PromoHunt, just click on the navy rain jacket image or swatch that you might want to share with the client. Then you can hover down here where it says add to. This is short for add to presentations. Then you can go to create presentation. And then we'll call this rain jacket ideas and maybe click create. Now this product was created. Now I can just click on the presentation name to add this first product to the presentation. And so we added this item in the color navy. We pulled in all the details you might want to have in a presentation by default. And if you want to add more products, you can continue to go to, SanMar's website or any other supplier website. You could also add items straight from our search engine too. So if we want to add an item in a different way, maybe first what we would do is, let's say your client really likes this rain jacket, but they want something really similar. What you could do with PromoHunt is start a similar products feature, and then we'll present you with over a dozen options that are super similar to what you're looking at. And if you want to add one of these to the presentation, you can just click on an option you like, and then go to add to presentation, and then click on that presentation name again. And now we've added our second idea to the presentation. If you want to add an idea straight from the search engine, you can just go to add new product. You type in a rain jacket, and then, maybe we want to add this third rain jacket to the presentation. From here, what we might want to do is just update our images so that they're all showing navy rain jackets. You're of course always able to show more than one image if you'd like. So if you want to display all the images, you could just click display all. And now we have 3 really good looking rain jacket ideas for the client. You can go to preview, and you could do that by just clicking a button. Then we'll pull in that information for you. By default in presentations, we link to supplier websites. So if we click here, we'll be directed to the SanMar website. That's something the distributor doesn't want to offer. Feature-wise, they could just deselect that box, and then we'll remove the link to that SanMar product page. That way it's harder for the end client to kind of understand who's selling this item. Those are some of the common things that people request. Some other things that are helpful, if you want to upload like a mock-up, you can just upload raster images here. We'll eventually be adding like automated mock-up types of features so that you don't have to do all that work to prepare the mock-ups on your own. But for now, you can upload JPEGs and PNGs of items that might have already been mocked up so that you can customize it even further. So if you want to go to a site like Petzls, you can type in like rain here and you can download like a really good image. So I just downloaded the background image in case we want to swap out our company's default template background image with this new background image. You can just go to upload image. And now we've got our new background image here. And when the client loads the presentation, they'll see these new details. So these are some of the common things that folks like to do at presentations. Aside from the aesthetics of this presentation looking really nice, one other thing I love about our presentation feature is that when your client loads this link, you will get an email letting you know. And so if you send your client the ideas and then, they say, well, we'll share an update with you after we review, and you never hear from them again. And then they load the presentation in 5 weeks. You'll get an email in 5 weeks. So that's a great time to follow up with them to see if they want a sample, a mock-up, or other information about the ideas you shared.
That notification feature is very cool. If my client opens it up multiple times, or if they forward that link to maybe other buyers in their company, will I also get that notification at that time as it gets opened up more and more?
You will, yes. Yes. So you'll, if they pass it to 10 colleagues and each of them open it, then you get 10 different emails that time. Likely in the future, we'll support a feature too, where you might be able to generate unique links per, if you're sending this to like 3 different people, you could generate a unique link per person so that you can keep track of who has been interacting with the presentation recently.
I'm also seeing a like button. Tell us about that. What happens if my client clicks that?
Yeah. So if your client interacts with this button, then you'll be able to see how many different people at their organization, as well as the names of those who interacted with the product, liked that item. So sometimes in clients, they kind of like to people share input on the ideas at the same time. So this can really accelerate that process. And along the way, everyone who's interacting with this like button can also see what items are the favorites themselves as well. So it's sort of like a live counting of that type of feedback.
If we could revisit the search part of this for a moment,
Sure.
I know that oftentimes a client will say, "Hey, I need some rain jackets, but those rain jackets, like I'm only really looking to spend, let's say, up to $65 per
Right.
unit on these." When I'm going through the process of searching for products to add to my presentation, is there a way to filter based on things like price or maybe other facets as well?
There is. You can, type in rain jacket. We'll show you some options by default, but in case you'd like more, just click on the more results button. Then from here, you can narrow down on different budgets. So we could type in maybe like a max price of 100, and then that would remove items that exceed that amount. And so you can use the supplier filters here. You can filter by your buying group or distributors' preferred suppliers. You can filter by different prices at different quantities as well.
You showed us the similar products feature. Do you want to show us the price
Yeah,
comparison?
yeah, definitely. So the way our price comparison feature works is just remember you have to sign up for PromoHunt and then enable the price comparison feature separately. But once you do that, when you visit a commodity product at Sanmar, Alpha Broder, SMS Activewear, PromoHunt compares your account specific prices for you in the background, and then we'll let you know if you can save. So at the bottom center of our screen here, we can kind of see that we're able to save 36 cents each on this item with another supplier. You can just simply click on the compare prices button, and then we'll show you all of your account specific prices in a single screen. So let's say the day you want white hoodies, you can just click on that white color swatch. We'll refresh the prices and the inventory data here for you with the latest information for the color white. And then you can make your purchase just like you always do. In this example, if it's like a super price competitive opportunity and you want to buy at Sanmar, you can just click Sanmar. And then you can, once you verify that they've got the inventory you need, you can just click view on supplier site and it'll take you straight to that product detail page where you can order like you always do. We'll also share some new information with you here too, so that had you started out here and had you really wanted to optimize for price, you wouldn't need to waste any clicks at all checking other suppliers to see if you could get a better price there. So that's a little bit about how this feature works. It works on about 2,000 different commodity apparel items that two or more suppliers carry. This is something that I wish would have existed back when I started in the industry 19 years ago in 2005, but better late than never. And this is something I'm personally really excited about. There's also like, I guess, a new way in which you can most efficiently source apparel with what we've built. So if maybe your client has a reorder for some 3001 fees, or you might wonder in your mind, like, is it the 3001 or is it the BC 3001? The answer to that question is like all of those item numbers are right. You could just write in any item number you remember. And then even though the suppliers have different ways of naming that item in their database, we again can compare all your prices for you automatically. You don't need to keep track like you used to of what all these items are called. So something else that's really handy about this feature, like let's say your client wants lavender. So dark lavender. So you kind of see here, there's this like little dotted line around the edge. That means that Sanmar doesn't carry this item, but if you want to see who does carry it, you can click on that swatch and then you can see which suppliers do carry it. And then you can just click on their name and check their inventory. So this is one other kind of handy feature that I wish existed probably during the pandemic when inventory was really challenging, but better late than never. It's still helpful now. It's kind of like another nice one. So
I'm glad you pointed that out because just last week I was trying to source a t-shirt and I knew it came in this specific color, but I couldn't figure out who carried it in that color. Uh, Very handy, very cool.
yeah, yeah. The way to think about this product detail page is it's sort of like a unified product detail page, and so we combine all of the different colors that all of the different suppliers offer. So you can start here and kind of have that universal picture across all the colors and suppliers. So
I noticed that when creating a presentation, there was some options for sharing with not just my customers, but maybe people in my own company or more publicly.
Yeah, what you can do is if we go back to our rain jacket presentation. So if you want to let folks at your company see this presentation, then you can just click this button. And then afterwards, anyone who's registered with PromoHunt with your same like corporate email address domain, they'll have visibility into this presentation. They'll also be able to at that point like duplicate the presentation in case they want to not reinvent the wheel when they're sharing ideas with their clients. You could also, if you wanted to, share presentations with the PromoHunt community. We find that more suppliers tend to use their type of functionality rather than distributors. So certain suppliers like Bell Promo and others use Promo to prepare presentations, and they can make it really easy for you to have a starting point with ideas by sharing, clicking this button to share their ideas with the promo community. So those are a couple different ways in which folks are sharing presentations externally. One really neat thing about what happens and is possible when suppliers share presentations is that when they create an account with PromoHunt, we tag them as a supplier. And then when a supplier shares a presentation with someone who actually, when they share a presentation period, the person who opens the link, they can see this copy and customize button. And so they can simply like click this button and then replace the supplier's logo and background image with their own. And so um, basically it makes it really efficient for distributors when suppliers prepare presentations and share that link with the distributor. The distributor can reshare the product ideas and get their own link to that presentation within like 20 seconds and share those ideas with their clients. So sometimes I get, um, sometimes I was, when I was a distributor, I was getting emails from suppliers and they're sharing like multiple product links, and links like URLs are just really ugly to share in an email. But if you share a presentation, it's really nice to be able to see lots of product images, descriptions, and price points automatically. This presentation feature is also free for suppliers and distributors, so that can be really compelling, so that it's more accessible to suppliers and distributors too.
I love that suppliers are using this tool as well. Has their participation driven any of the feature development, or have you gotten any interesting feedback from the supplier side on how they feel a presentation tool should behave?
I think in a lot of ways, the needs of the supplier, the things that they love are there's the same thing for distributors love. They love knowing that their customers are opening the presentation, and unless they like, it's really hard for them to get that type of feedback today in different tools available to them. So that's one thing suppliers really like.
When you think about the PromoHunt presentations power user, how are they using your suite of applications, and how do you wish others would use PromoHunt?
Right. One thing that we see more advanced companies doing with our presentation features, they collaborate on presentations with where multiple people within one office will collaborate on that same presentation. Today, they do that by sharing a login. We don't sort of support multiplayer mode or company like collaboration officially with presentations, but we do see power users sort of doing that by sharing a login. And so that's one thing they do. um, they tend to often like upload the background images, kind of customize those on a per opportunity basis. That's something else they do. Um, they might link to their own distributor website product pages instead of so by default, when a SAMR Rain Jacket gets added to your presentation, we grab our SAMR product detail page link. But the more sophisticated distributors who really want to go the last mile will like link to that product on their website, so that when their customer clicks on that link, maybe the brand new website gets opened up for that specific rain jacket product. So we see some people doing that.
The CTO in me cringes at the idea of multiple users sharing a login. However,
Correct.
I really like the use case. And here's something that I've tried to solve for in the past. We're all about to be in Vegas, walking the 20 something miles of show floor. And a pretty common chore for the sales team is to make note of the products that are cool and that the rest of the team should know about. Maybe they'll even take that and come up with like a best of show that's client facing.
Yeah.
Could I could I conceivably give my login, my PromoHunt login, a shared one to the 6 people I'm bringing to Vegas? And I'm like, hey, when you're in a booth and you see something cool, search for it at PromoHunt and add it to this shared presentation, or just snap a picture and create a new product real quick.
Yeah, totally. Um, our users actually reported to me that like they love using our presentation feature more than others for that exact purpose. So they're on the show floor. Maybe I'll do a live demo. So what they'll do is they'll like take a picture of a product. So I'm gonna like take a picture of this. So like let's add this to a presentation. So I'm gonna go to promohunt.com now. So we can go over to presentations. We can go to new presentation. We can call it like best of Expo. I'll click the create button. Now this presentation's created. Now we can go to create new product. And now I can type in like AirPod case. I can write down the item number. So it's like item number 1234. Now that's added. I can upload the picture. So you could just like tap this little icon here and I can upload from my phone that photo that I just took. Now I'll click add. And now this product was added to the presentation. And now if we want to like check it out here on the screen, we can go to PromoHunt and then we can go to presentations and best of Expo. It's like right here. And I obviously had a little trouble typing, but you can, clean that up real fast. If the item also existed already, you could just use the search engine on the
Yeah.
phone and search the item number right there. So if the item number was like, J333, then you could just type in like add new product, J333. So I kind of think this is kind of nice for like trade shows and keeping a list
Yeah.
of items that you might like. And especially since you can take your own photos and create your own products on the fly in case the supplier says, hey, it's not in Sage or ESP or Perline yet, but you could, add it on your own that way. So I think they're pretty neat. You could
Man,
also do it like on a client by client basis. So if Instacart's one of your clients, then create the Instacart sort list, and then you could do the same for Amazon, etc. That could be kind of handy.
man, I feel like we just uncovered like a expo hack. Thank you for sharing that. And there's a
Of
place for
course.
private notes too. So, conceivably, I
Yeah.
have a sales support or a coordinator back home. I could put a little private note like, please get a sample or spec or whatever, or something like that.
Totally. That's absolutely right.
Love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's free and it takes like, you could even sign up on your phone without ever having installed a browser extension. Do everything we just discussed too. So that's pretty handy.
If a salesperson at a distributorship wants to get started with PromoHunt, but they're not like they're the first person at that distributorship to ever sign up, is there any sort of like approval process that has to happen, or can they get in immediately?
Yeah. So we only approve distributors who we verify are actual distributors. So if the first person for a company goes to create an account, it'll only get automatically approved if their email address domain is one that we're sort of aware of as a VAR distributor email address domain. If it's not on a list that we have, then usually within a few hours we'll approve the distributor's account, and then subsequent folks in that company are auto approved and connected to any different buying groups and or regional associations that that first user might have been connected to. So it's pretty quick get up and running. You can create a Pro1 account in like under 60 seconds. You can download a browser extension in under 60 seconds. You can't do much in this industry in under 2 minutes. But we usually auto approve accounts in general. Just don't sign up with your Gmail account. Sign up with your work email address. That'll increase the odds you get through really quickly.
course. What has been the
Yeah,
most surprising feedback that you've received from users over the last, what are we at, 7 or 8 years with PromoHunt? What has surprised you? Or coming from the distributor side, do you feel like you've got a good bead on what the pain points are?
I think a lot of the things that were painful in 2005 when I first started selling decorated apparel, or even like in 2017 when I started promo hunt, are still painful today. Like product search, maybe even more painful today, right? There are 1.4 million products in our industry now instead of like 1 million. So that's, still painful. I am excited about a lot of the automation now that is starting to happen with like mock-ups, and I think that like we're right around the corner for it to become a lot faster to find a really like high quality source of product ideas, have them added to a presentation that can be branded really fast and shared with the client really fast. So, but yeah, I think in general, it's just that like so many of the things that were painful before are still somewhat painful, especially to like the masses in our industry. I know there are like few software companies that are doing really cool and unique things, but by and large, like most distributors don't have access to a lot of the tools that are some of the most efficient ones for different purposes. I think a lot of distributors could benefit from a free tool like PromoHunt and in 2 minutes and not have to like change their existing workflow at all to get a lot of value from it. And so I think there's also a place for different tools that already exist in our industry that are sort of incorporating AI into the tools themselves so that distributors don't have to think about how to do some of these things at the first time entirely on their own. So I'm excited for more companies to bring in AI in our industry into software and make that more accessible.
I think we're going to wind down. Is there anything that we should have talked about that we have not yet touched on?
The only other thing is that I know I talked a little bit about it earlier today, but I think our similar products feature is going to be a big time saver for folks. You'll be able to be on any product detail page. And then if you want extra ideas at your fingertips, you can just simply hover and we'll put these ideas in front of you, not just from the supplier whose site you're on, but also from other suppliers. This will work on hard goods too. So if you're, a hit promo website, you're looking at a tote bag and you want some more ideas, you can just hover down here, and then you've got a lot of other really relevant ideas at your fingertips. If you use tools like Sage or ESP, from what we've heard, a lot of times like the similar product ideas are not really super similar, at least not this similar, and so we want to be the tool that kind of offers that best possible experience so that you're actually like really interested in putting a lot of these ideas in your presentations, putting them in front of your clients. So this is something that I'm really excited about and something that we're about to invest a lot of energy in as a company. So since 2017, people have been going from product page to product page with Promo installed millions and millions of times per month. And so we have this really big data set that helps us share really relevant product ideas to distributors when they're on any product detail page possible. And so this is something that we're excited to put to work for distributors, as well as for suppliers who want to advertise on our service to get in front of more distributors with their products. So as a company, this is something that we're excited about. And we're hearing a lot of suppliers really like the idea of having multiple service areas and promo to get in front of customers too. So we're excited to help them that way.
Yeah, that's an incredible amount of data, and leveraging that data set with AI is what really excites me about how artificial intelligence is making its way into the industry, because solution providers like you and others have so much data that distributors and suppliers just don't see, but we could really benefit from. And I'm looking forward to tools like yours putting those insights in front of us in a tangible way, like smarter product suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's exciting you about 2025 and Promo Hunt?
We haven't worked on product search as a company in a few years, but now after we work on similar products, suggestions and that type of functionality, we're coming back to search in 2025. So I think, 2025 can be maybe a year in which another really great search engine can be available in the industry. And I'd like to think we'd be a lot more accessible than some other search engines that might be like 500 to 1,000 a year and up in terms of cost. That's something that's really exciting to me. And yeah, we're really excited as a company to start working more with suppliers too. We've really historically been really focused on delivering distributors value, but now we're excited to finally have opportunities to work with suppliers and offer different ways they can reach our users. We've got about 7,000 different folks that use our software today. They use about 3 million times per month on average. And so we've got a lot of services where distributors are using our software and we can help suppliers reach distributors through our software. And we're pretty pumped about that. So,
It'll be a good year. What
yeah.
advice would you give
Yeah.
to sales professionals who are considering Promo Hunt?
Yeah, we kind of have designed it to be a no-brainer, like making it free, making it easy to get signed up in 2 minutes. So I think, it's a good idea to just try it out and give it a spin, regardless of like what type of browser you use. You can sign up for Promo and install it on your browser. I would say just try things out in general. And it's hard to beat free. And if you don't like it, just you don't have to keep using it. That's probably the advice I give. One other thing I probably shouldn't say this, but it's probably not that controversial. Like we're developing new tools for suppliers specifically, not just so that they can reach our audience, but also better understand their customers and their preferences. And so I'm excited. We're going to start offering like different reporting and insights types of packages to suppliers so they can better understand, if I maybe take my budget from name your favorite industry search platform from 100K a month to 50K a month, like how does it actually change the percent of traffic that comes from that platform and comes to my website afterwards? Today, suppliers can't do a great job of answering questions like that because they don't have referral traffic data like we do, but we are excited to start to offer additional reports so that suppliers can better understand their customers at a high level and understand if they're getting some of the returns that they might want on some of the investments they make in different platforms. So I'm excited to start helping suppliers, kind of like we've been helping distributors historically.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that'll trickle down to distributors too. If suppliers know how to best engage our buyers, not that they're directly engaging with them, but if they can kind of get in the same thinking that our end buyers are in, then they can help lead us to the right products when we're in the sales cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think something like suppliers don't realize that they should is that if you think about how many different pages distributors load at work every day, it's so much more often that distributors are loading like supplier website pages. And so we're the only company that sort of sits on that surface area and has a sort of a broad understanding of it. And um, like, again, we're sort of really pumped to help suppliers better understand their customers' journeys and ways in which they can like better reach customers.
Where can the growing promo pilot community engage with Promo Hunt?
Yeah, if you want to reach out, just shoot us an email. You can email me at tony@promohunt.com.
And you'll be in Vegas?
Yeah, we'll be in Vegas. Come see us. I forget our booth number, but we'll add it to the show notes here. And yeah, we'd love to see you at Vegas.
Excellent. Tony, I appreciate your time. I always appreciate our conversations. Promo people, if you don't know Tony, you should. I have met few people who take distributor feedback as seriously as Tony. If you see him on Facebook, you see that in action. So, Tony, I'm so glad to know you.
Likewise.
We've done some cool projects together that we wouldn't have been able to do without your help. So, much appreciated.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you over the last almost decade. And yeah, really excited to continue to find opportunities to collaborate with you and your customers.
That's it. We did it. Tony is such a bro, and he really does listen to feedback from users. So if you're headed to Expo, make sure to stop by the Promo Hunt booth. Chat them up about your needs and see their tools in action. I promise it'll be worth your time. You can also check them out online at promohunt.com. And hey, I'd love to hear what you thought of this format. Drop a comment and let me know if you like this sort of conversation or if there's something you'd like to hear more about in the future. Thanks again. Catch you next time.